You're saying goodbye to a friend or greeting a distant relative and they lean in for a massive, enthusiastic hug. Inside your brain, red lights start flashing. Siren sounds go off. Before you can even process the moment, your body stiffens. Your shoulders lock, your jaw goes tight, and you count down the milliseconds until it's over. When you force yourself to endure it, you feel a physical, itchy restlessness. Your skin feels raw, your anxiety spikes, and your mind is screaming for space. You feel cold, antisocial, and deeply frustrated with your own reactions. You wonder why something that is supposed to be a basic, comforting human instinct makes you feel like an animal trapped in a cage. But this isn't a simple failure of warmth or empathy. To your nervous system, physical intimacy is a heavy biological vulnerability. Today, we're looking at why you are evolutionarily and psychologically wired to hate being touched in the modern world. We're talking about the somatosensory overdrive, the childhood blueprint, and why your need for a personal bubble isn't a character flaw. It's a predictable reaction to a misaligned ecosystem. For 99% of human history, allowing another organism to get close enough to touch your bare skin was an incredibly high-stakes gamble. In the wild, physical contact meant one of two things: extreme intimacy or an imminent lethal threat. Our ancestors survived because they possessed a hypervigilant defense mechanism wrapped around their bodies. Your brain treats physical touch exactly like a data breach. When someone touches you, your skin sends a massive wave of electrical signals to your brain's somatosensory cortex. For most people, the brain filters this background noise out, but for some of us, our hardware is dialed up to an 11. This is known as sensory processing sensitivity. Every unexpected tap on the shoulder or casual brush of an arm releases a sudden spike of cortisol, the stress hormone. Sustained contact requires your brain to burn a massive amount of glucose just to suppress your natural instinct to fight or flee. The agony you feel when being touched isn't antisocial behavior. It's your highly sensitive nervous system trying to protect your physical boundaries from what it perceives as a sudden invasion. Your personal space is being actively outgunned by a modern social trend known as forced intimacy optimization. Society no longer respects the boundaries of the individual. Instead, it socializes us to believe that physical contact is the default currency of politeness. The mandatory workplace handshake, the casual air kiss, the uninvited pat on the back. These are weaponized social obligations designed to ignore your body's natural autonomy. This is the strip mining of physical autonomy. You don't hate being touched because you lack love. You hate it because you are trying to navigate a social casino that demands you give away your physical consent just to be considered polite. Every uninvited touch treats your body as public property. Your nervous system is a beautiful biological machine being systematically overwhelmed by a cultural code optimized to ignore personal boundaries. You aren't losing your mind. Your physical sovereignty is being compromised. Think about the magic of chosen contact. When you are with a romantic partner you deeply trust, a pet you adore, or a close friend in a moment of genuine grief, that aversion vanishes. You don't hate being touched then. Touch is a cooperative agreement between your psychological safety and your nervous system. When contact is predictable, high trust, and intrinsically rewarding, your brain floods the system with oxytocin naturally, making the physical connection effortless. But modern life demands that we accept touch from highly random, low trust, or completely dry sources, like strangers in a crowded subway or acquaintances at a networking event. This creates a severe neural drought. Your brain looks at the uninvited social hug, calculates the trust return, and says, "Absolutely not. This is a potential threat. Establish the perimeter." The friction you feel is just your brain's natural refusal to expend premium emotional energy on a zero-trust physical interaction. We call it casual affection, and we expect ourselves to brush it off. But cognitively, physical contact is never casual. What your body is actually experiencing is continuous threat assessment. You try to focus on a conversation while someone is standing too close, or you try to relax at a party while people are constantly moving through your personal space. Every time someone enters your immediate physical radius, your brain has to perform a context switch. It takes your nervous system an average of several minutes to fully downregulate and return to a state of calm after an uninvited physical encounter. Even a brief, unwanted handshake leaves a ghostly residue of discomfort, what psychologists call tactile residue, clogging up your mental bandwidth. You hate being touched because you are constantly running your body with a heavy background security app open, and your internal processor is overheating from the friction of defending your perimeter. If you are currently watching this while feeling guilty about pulling away from a hug earlier today, take a breath. Your capacity for affection is not broken. It is just selective. We live in a culture of toxic extraversion that treats the human body like an open book that anyone should be allowed to read. If we recoil, we treat it as a personal, moral failure. But you are an autonomous human being, not a public installation. Your capacity for physical intimacy is a finite biological resource that requires safety, predictability, and explicit trust. Forgiving your body for stiffening up, acknowledging that the social world is intentionally designed to ignore your boundaries, and letting go of the expectation of flawless, robotic compliance is the only way to reclaim your peace. At the end of the day, hating to be touched is a completely normal reaction to an intrusive environment. Reclaiming your comfort isn't about forcing yourself to endure more hugs, masking your discomfort, or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about building a fortress around your body. It's about clearing the social clutter and accepting that setting boundaries is supposed to feel a little uncomfortable, a little awkward, and a little heavy at first. Your physical body is the most valuable thing you own. It is the literal vessel through which you experience your entire life. Don't give access to it away for free to a social expectation that doesn't care about your comfort. So the next time you feel that urge to step back, pause. Let the awkwardness pass, and remember that protecting your personal bubble is the ultimate form of modern rebellion. If you are currently watching this video to understand why you felt like running away from a family gathering, hit that like button. Subscribe for more honest deconstructions of the modern mind, and tell me in the comments, what is the absolute most awkward encounter you've had with someone who just wouldn't respect your personal space? I'll see you in the next one. Step back, claim your 6 feet of distance, and for the love of God, stop letting people hug you out of politeness.